So who is Tyler addressing when he says come down in Levitate? There's basically 4 options. 1, the bishops. 2, the vultures. 3, himself. 4, God. Let's start with the bishops, because I think this is the least likely option. Why would Tyler be addressing the bishops? Well, they're the villains of the story. That seems to be the consensus on that theory. Why would he be talking to them? Well, because they're the bad guys. And he's challenging them, right? He could be taunting Nico into cursing him. And at the end of the song, a bishop comes and snatches him. Outside of that, though, we have no clear through line as to how these things are related. Like, why would he be saying come down? 2, the vultures. Watch the way that Tyler's movements are paired with the vultures. They're equating them visually. In fact, this guy even gets a picture of a vulture stapled to his back. We are supposed to equate banditos and vultures. However, there's an aspect of vultures that we don't know about.
There's a whole other kind of deep dive into the narrative that really hasn't been talked about much, but the vulture represents a lot of the religion that's involved in the city of Dima and is important to its existence. And so, in a way, it kind of has this double meaning of inspiration, but also kind of evil as well. And it's, yeah. I don't have time to get into it.
Are the vultures the watchers? Is that why they're circling above, smirking at first blood? Do the vultures represent someone, or are they just vultures? 3, himself. When Tyler says you don't get thick skin without getting burnt in the hype, he's talking to himself. When Tyler says you in my life is like sipping on straight chlorine, he's talking to a part of himself. This could be no different. If you take a look at the first verse of Levitate, Tyler is basically hyping himself up. The song is full of bravado and aggression. You could read the second verse as a response to the first. Oh, I know how to levitate. Come down, like he's reeling himself back in. Cowards only come through when the hour's late and everyone's asleep, mind you. That could be a reference to him leaving Dima in the dead of night, as per the letter. That's exactly what he did. He came through when the hour was late, and in the letter it says they're asleep. This comes after putting us, the viewer, asleep in their last communication on Twitter. Note how the closing eye is from our perspective, ending on a picture of a night sky. And then
Tyler wishes he could be here. He's actually off severing ties with Dima.
You could say that Tyler is doing this under the cover of metaphorical darkness, similar to how he says he could take the high road, but he knows that he's going low. It could also be himself that he's challenging to show up, especially considering the lyrics to Leave the City, where he's talking about struggling to go on.
I'm tired of tending to this fire. I've used up all I've collected. I have cinched my hands. It's glowing, embers barely showing. Proof of life in the shadows, dancing on my plans.
So it starts off bravado, talking himself up. I know how to levitate, I know how to fire breathe. And then he reels it back in. Come down, calls himself a coward, challenges himself to show up, and a curse from you is all that I would need right now? Could be talking to himself in the same way that chlorine is talking to a part of himself. 4. God. This is a strong visual to suggest that Tyler is talking to God. He's looking up and pointing up, though I guess that could be to the vultures too, but he does this in other videos as well. Holding on to you, where it's generally agreed he's talking to God, pointing up and looking up, and also goner.
Don't let me become.
Tyler's also no stranger to making demands of, or even straight up taunting God.
Strike me down, I am calling your lightning down from your dark hiding place.
Saying show up is pretty much what he's saying in implicit demand for proof. He just hadn't followed it with an insult in that case. There's also the line, probably shouldn't show you but it's way too late. Tyler very early on talked about showing God what his work was, something he had made.
I I just want you to see what I have made inside these lines. It's as good as I can be.
And of course we all know that song is addressed very loudly to Jesus. There's also this, my heart is with you hiding, but my mind's not made.
I probably shouldn't show you, but it's way too late. My heart is with you hiding, but my mind's not made.
That could easily be seen as addressed to God, especially considering this quote. This is from Alt Press 2018. I still believe in God, he acknowledges. I still want to call myself a Christian because I am a Christian. I don't know how to talk to people about it yet. And if I can't talk to other people about it yet, or if I don't know exactly why I should talk to other people about it, does it really mean anything to me then? If I don't truly have the answer, shouldn't I just be talking about that? But I have to get there first. And he also adds, when I make it out of trench, and I get to where I'm going, and I know what the name is, I wonder then if I'll be more bold in my faith.
I probably shouldn't show you, but it's way too late. My heart is with you hiding, but my mind's not made.
So at the end of this video, I've basically convinced myself that it could be any of these things, which isn't entirely helpful, but I don't know. Decide for yourself, see if there's more examples, I'd love to hear them, and yeah, have a good day.